Helen
Mm-hmm.
and Lydell Rogers, you have been married for 50 years?
50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
And this is your first time getting your pictures taken?
My first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why
Well, we
was
have
this
pictures.
important to you?
Well, the last 2 years I've taken pictures by myself because he wasn't able to come. And so this time when they come up with it, I put the name down. I told him, I said, you have to come. He was excited and he wanted to come. So I put the date down and I called on yesterday to come and I told him, I said, we got to get there on time. So we did, and here we are.
And that was and this is perfect since you just celebrated 50 years together.
January 27th.
So you mentioned to me that you lost all your photographs in
Everything.
Katrina.
Everything.
How has that changed your life?
It not really changed, but it just made us go closer and closer to God and to each other, and to know that even though you lose everything, you never lose God, and we've never lost each other. So that's the good part of it all. Even though our house had 6 feet of water in it, everything had to be thrown out, everything.
Right.
Pictures, clothes, everything.
Right.
But God is so good that
Right.
He's given us that and more.
Right.
So God is so good.
Now, were you able to make it out during the evacuation, or were you stuck? You got out.
No, we got out.
We left early.
Yeah.
When they said they were going to call an evacuation on that Saturday, we left, I think either Thursday night or earlier in the morning, maybe like 12, 1 o'clock that Friday morning,
Right.
Friday a.m. And it was a caravan of family members.
Right.
We all left together trying to make sure everybody got out together.
Yeah.
And we did. And my brother, I have one brother, and I had 5 sisters, one deceased now. We all got out, but my brother, he wound up in Atlanta, Georgia. The rest of us, the sisters, we all wound up in Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah, on Austin.
Okay.
After a 1 month stay first in Houston.
Okay.
We stayed in Houston for 1 month, and then Rita came, and they closed Houston down for Rita.
Right.
So we had to leave again for another hurricane, and that's how we wound up in Austin.
Wow.
And so we stayed in Austin. I have a niece who's been there for over 20 years. She was married and moved to Austin over 20 years ago. So she was searching and searching, and she found an apartment complex where it was relatively empty. And so we were all able to get an apartment together.
Oh.
Everybody had their own apartment. So we were, as a family, we were all
You were
together.
fortunate that
yeah,
way.
and it worked out fine for us because we all lived relatively together, almost in the same area.
Right. How many children do y'all have?
We have 4, all boys.
All boys.
All boys, no girls.
Oh.
We have grandchildren. We have 6 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren.
Oh,
Wow.
that's awesome.
See, she's a talk down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
But God is good, though.
God
He's
is
blessed
good.
us tremendously. We were able to get the house back up.
I had just retired anyway.
Okay.
Retired 2003.
Okay.
So when we got to Austin, I didn't have to worry about running away from it. Stood there until we got tired and ready to come back home.
Right.
Put our
How
house
long
back
were you
up.
away? How long were you away?
Austin,
About
10 months.
10
About 10 months.
10 months. 10
Well, we had already decided that we were coming back home.
Oh.
Already decided from the day we got there, we were going
That
to
you were
stay
gonna
just
come
as long as we had to stay. And we did. We had a great time, like a vacation.
Yeah.
Look like when God put it in your spirit to do something, it makes you anxious, and that's what happened to us. We were doing fine. Months and months passed, and we would come home like every other month just to see how the house was and
How things were going.
yeah, going and go back.
Right.
And then I don't know, it's just something. He said, "It's time for us to go home." And I
Yeah.
said, "Okay, you ready?" And everything just fell into place. I have a son who left with us, but he said he wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
So he said, "Y'all want to go back home?" He said, "I have to see y'all get back home and see y'all settle." He said, "But y'all gonna have to do that this weekend." He said, "Because next week we're starting a new job." So we did. We rented a truck and we got new furniture and everything. And we rented a truck and my son drove everything back to New Orleans. And we couldn't live in the house. We had to get the house straight.
Right.
So we went and we lived in his brother's house, who lived in another part of
Area.
town that wasn't
Right.
flooded like we were.
Yeah.
And we fixed the house, and everything's been great. So God
that's
is good.
awesome.
God is good.
You sense a change in this city since Katrina that it's
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big change.
big change.
It's not as many people, and the heartbreaking thing of it all is the crime. A lot of killing going on.
Yeah.
But as Christians, we need to pray more
Yeah.
to get that under
Right.
control.
Right. Well, I thank you for sharing your story with us today. I appreciate that, and especially congratulations, 50 years.
Thank you.